Hey Collective and Soul Tribe, happy Friday. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. Happy Friday, you guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday, Freedom Friday, Fabulous Friday, Friyay. Okay, I hope you guys are doing well. Okay, we are at the end of the week. Right now, the time is 9:12 a.m. It is Friday, May the 15th. Some of you guys, angel number 911 could also be significant, and also 912. So take what resonates with that. But I hope you guys are doing well mentally, physically, emotionally. All right, guys, we have finally made it to the weekend. All right, guys. Now, like I said, for those of you that live in Canada, we have a long weekend coming up. So I hope you guys enjoy your long weekend. And I did do my research, okay? The States does have a holiday, but it's right after us, okay? So anybody who's taking time off or booking time off, I hope you guys enjoy your time, okay? I'm going to do some tarot and oracle messages for you guys. So let's get into it. Let's get started, all right? So, Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective for Friday, May the 15th? What do they need to know at this time? What clarity and understanding can you give them when it comes to the energy at this time? All right, guys. So let's see what you need to know for today, okay? But like I said, I hope you guys are doing well, okay? I hope you guys are enjoying, okay, your time, whatever time that you guys have. If that means you guys are walking, meditating, sleeping, eating, okay, whatever it is that you got to do to keep yourself, you know, afloat. I hope you guys are doing well, all right, guys? I just wanted to make sure I shuffle this deck pretty good. So let's see. So Spirit, what do you have for the collective for May 15th, okay? What does the collective need to know for May 15th? Oh, at this time. Okay. Well, shoot. All right, guys. We have a lot of cards that came out, okay? We have the Queen of Swords. All right, guys. Now, like I said, when it comes to placements, you don't have to have these placements. It could just be the energy itself that's being picked up, you know, like, you know, collectively, right? But when it comes to this energy, Queen of Cups energy, this could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius placements. There's something about your energy when it comes to communicating with clarity and wisdom. You could be somebody who's very honest, independent, okay? Also fair when it comes to constructive criticism, or, you know, when it comes to certain objectives and things of that matter, right? But there is something about your wisdom and clarity that you do have, and you possess this when it comes to having like a really sharp mind. For some of you as well, there's also like you having like a clear understanding of not just yourself and people around you, but the world, right? And because of this energy, it's like you guys have the ability to make, you know, certain objective decisions, okay, when it comes to reason and logic, when it comes to your energy. It's almost like even though you are making decisions from the heart, it's like you guys have this analytical and intuitive knowing as well. For some of you guys with the number 13, angel number, there is something about going through transformations, right? And this transformation that you're going through could be rebirth through change. Also, when it comes to like death and rebirth of patterns and things of that matter, you guys are healing because of the fact that, you know, you're an alchemist, right? You alchemize energy. You don't sit in that energy and, you know, basically mope. It's like you always find different ways so that you can improve yourself or that you can move forward, right? So even when it comes to like the number 1 and 3, we already know that with numbers 1 and 3, right? For example, that equals 4. So fourth house, there's something about, like I said, parents, guardians, your roots. Okay, this could be matters in a home, so domestic matters and things like that. But there is something about your emotions and how you show up in a foundation. Now, you and someone else's connection, this could be like a mother connection, or this could be you and children. Okay, having a connection to children, femininity, divine feminine energy is very significant. Even if this is not in Western astrology, a lot of you guys also may connect with your Sidral, which is your Vedic, right? And I understand this because I always talk about being able to understand both charts and also being able to relate to both charts, okay? And you guys know I use myself as a guinea pig sometimes, or I'll try to give you guys examples that even if it never happened to me, I'll give examples so that you guys can understand the message itself. So Just for an example, it's like, even I've checked this out myself, right? I found out, like I said to you, like every reading that I talk about this, is that the reason why I tell you guys to look at your sigil is because that is another blueprint of your chart, right? It also explains why you are the way you are, how you operate energetically, things like that. So in Western, you guys know that I'm a Cancer sun, okay, with an Aries moon. But in Sigil, I'm actually a Gemini sun with an Aries moon. You know what I mean, guys? So I can understand when it comes to water energy, I can understand that, fire energy. And when it comes to air energy and fire energy, I can also understand that. So something about you guys being able to go back and forth could be significant, okay? Also here we have the Eight of Pentacles. So Sun in Virgo could be significant with 8th house. There's something about death and transformations, okay? Even when it comes to, you know, joint ventures, okay, intimacy, things like that. There's something about you being committed when it comes to your craft and also mastering your skills. Some of you have a very good talent or skill that you guys have. There's something about craftsmanship, you know, the quality maybe of what you do or what you provide, and also having high standards, right? You guys are very dedicated to whatever it is that you guys are working towards, but knowing that you guys are building a skill and being able to dedicate yourself to this craft is very significant. Okay, so take what resonates with that for some of you guys with the number 8, even with angel numbers too. This is talking about you stepping into your power. Okay, so there is something about stepping into your power when it comes to your success. This could be leadership. This could be your strength, okay, ambition, even cause and effect, okay? 5 of Swords energy. There's something about a resolution, confirmation with the horn, okay? There's something about you choosing your battles wisely, okay? So like I said, even when it comes down to dealing with other people, you know, their drama, their mess, whatever is going on with Venus and, you know, Aquarius, because we know that Venus energy talks about not just love and pleasure, but what we attract, relationships, etc. This is your energy, okay, with Aquarius energy showing up here. And we know with Aquarius energy, there's something unique about you, right? It's almost like this, how would I explain it? Like this alien galactic type of energy, right? Because, you know, Aquarius is very unique, okay? Even when it comes to like, not just looks only, but just personality wise and things like that. There are certain things that you are attracting. Maybe you are attracting innovative people, people who like to think outside the box, okay? That are just not, you know, your normal day-to-day when it comes to like society and things like that, right? There's something about your energy that's significant with this number 5. Something to do with, you know, maybe your creativity and hobbies, and maybe how you self-express yourself. That could be significant too. Some of you guys, it's like choosing your battles wisely too could talk about you choosing joy and happiness in your life instead of choosing, you know, energies that are, you know, manipulative, or, you know, people who try to intimidate you and things like that. There is something about, you know, cutting losses when it comes to the lessons that you've dealt with. And also when it comes to you compromising with yourself, that is very significant, okay? So take what resonates with this too, but there is something about you focusing on what matters to you with the higher font. This has been coming out a lot, okay? You guys are honoring your spiritual path, your intuitive knowing. This is throat chakra energy, okay? This is about social groups for some of you. For some of you guys, this is about your beliefs, right? Education is significant, learning, you know, new topics, new ideas, philosophies. This could be even cultures, for example. So it's almost like, you know, when you learn different cultures, you guys could be learning about Buddhism. Okay, you guys could be learning about shamanism, different things like that. Okay, Reiki healing, that kind of stuff. Okay, so take what resonates with that. And then we also have the 3 of Cups, Mercury and Cancer. Okay, there's something about you guys being able to celebrate when it comes to the abundance and joys of your life. This is about friendships, community. Okay, coming together when it comes to like social events, but just being celebratory, right? Being in the energy of people who are like-minded, or people that actually show up and care, right? When it comes to your energy. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Hangman. So there is something about you guys surrendering and release with Neptune energy for some of you. Now, for some of you guys, when it comes to basically you moving forward, right, that is very significant too. There is something about perspectives when it comes to maybe at one point you were dealing with certain things with uncertainty, right? But even if you were uncertain, you still was following your path when it comes to direction, because again, we have Ace of Swords when it comes to clarity and breakthrough. So even if you felt like this weird energy where, you know, things maybe felt like it was being stalled, you know, there was some type of stagnation, even when it comes to, you know, being able to surrender in the present moment could be significant, but there is something about this waiting. Now, there also could be this uncertainty because, again, we don't know the unknown, and that's okay. Like, a lot of people feel like when you're in spirituality, you have to be perfect, and that is why when I say that people will talk about new age spiritualists, it's because of the fact that we don't want to follow everything by the book. And the reason why I say that is because you ever thought about with meditation, not everybody wants to sit on the floor, and nothing is wrong with this either, but we have to remember that everybody is different, right? Everyone is different. Not everybody can sit on the floor and meditate and, you know, hum, right? Some people get tired and bored doing that, okay? It may work for some people, but it may not work for everybody. Depending on your placements, for example, you know, if you have fire placements, you want movement. So instead of sitting on the floor meditating, going for a walk could be significant. If you're in earth placement, maybe meditating and journaling in a sense where maybe you're sitting outside in the grass and the trees, and that's how you meditate. Like, people have to understand that not everybody wants to do the same things that other people do, and that doesn't mean that it's wrong either. Okay, so for some of you guys, when it comes to like receiving clarity, there are certain things that you could be doing when it comes to your focus, concentration, etc. Right? So take what resonates with that. I'm going to see if I can get some more messages. So, Spirit, what other messages do you have for the collective at this time? What else do they need to... Ooh, thank you. So, yeah, seasons are changing for some of you guys, and there's something about gratitude as well. Okay, like I said, you guys could have had a season of uncertainty, stagnation, you know, maybe a period where you were in stillness. Okay, things maybe weren't working the way they were supposed to. It almost felt like the universe was just beating you up, okay? And for now, at this point in your life, you guys could be seeing a little bit of change, okay? Even if it's not like the biggest change, you guys can see the pattern that there is some type of change, right? But you guys still have gratitude, regardless of the situation. Your wisdom is what allows you to move forward. Pearls could be very significant. Seashells, being near water is also significant. But there's something about your energy where you guys could be going through seasons of change, and it's almost like we're getting closer to summer, right? Because when you look at it, the month is almost done. We have another 15 more days or so, and the month is done. It's going to be June, and all of a sudden it's summer. Okay, guys? So there is something about this energy when it comes to growth. Growth takes time. Just like how the seasons, you know, take time to change, just like your path, right? It takes time for you to grow. And that is very significant for some of you guys, right? So, Spirit, thank you. Yeah, following your bliss. Okay, guys. At the bottom, we have the journey and a new day. The sun is shining. You know, the birds are chirping. Okay, so yesterday, for example, I said the weather was kind of like blah, depending on, you know, where you live, because I live in Canada. But if you live in California, why don't you send some sunshine over here, guys? Like, I always keep saying this in my messages because I really do feel like you guys always have like really nice sun and, you know, sunny weathers and stuff like that. It's like the West Indies too, or anywhere that's tropical. Like, every time I see people traveling and I see them going to like, especially Jamaica, I'm just like, well, damn. Put me in your suitcase too and take me with you. Like, I don't even know these people, but you know what I mean, guys? Like, you see people like being in certain places that are warm, and you're like, man, I can't wait for our weather to get nice, right? So yeah, today's a new day. There's like stairs, okay, in this deck here. Something about taking things step by step and leveling up is significant. But yeah, a new day is very significant. I just saw 1414 on the timer too. So there's something about you following your bliss, to whether this is happiness or, you know, that job or that home or that new city or country, you know, doing things that make you happy, following your path, basically your blueprint, right? Yeah, we have love. Okay, some of you guys, unconditional love could be very significant. Even when it comes to like your heart chakra, that could be very significant too. But there's something about your love and your strength that's showing up very heavily in the messages at this time. At the bottom of the deck, you could have stopped something when it comes to your energy, right? There's something about maybe you protecting your energy or having discernment, right? But there's something about even when it comes to like your mindset, right? Like maybe you guys used to think a certain way, even if it wasn't like a negative mindset, but maybe you were like picking up or absorbing other people's energies too. There's something about you stopping that too, okay? And focusing on your own energy at this time. 15:15 on the timer too. That's very significant for some of you. Yeah. Okay, well, this card fell on the floor. At the bottom of the deck we have trust, okay? But this card fell on the floor. Give me 1 second, guys. That's the card that fell on the floor. All right. So we have karmic path. Like you guys could have released something when it comes to like a karmic path. Okay, like I said, this is you stepping into your strength. 8 talks about your power. 8 also, like I said, talks about rebirth and death and all that stuff, right? Even when it comes to like the occult, that could be significant too. It doesn't have to be that specifically, but there is something about that where, you know, confirmation with the horn, you could see a lot of things when it comes to your inner knowing. But yeah, 8 is very significant when it comes to your power, stepping into your power. This is leadership, like I said, or stepping into some type of authority. Okay, karma is also significant. There's something about balance when it comes to cause and effect. Knowledge, okay. Some of you guys, when it comes to knowledge, you guys are either learning new things, like I said, picking up a book, educating yourself, or just learning new things and also, you know, teaching other people these things. If it's philosophy or whatever it is, life experiences, something about you guys speaking up on certain matters are very significant. And little do you know, you guys are helping people, you know, who maybe have went through the same things or maybe struggled with these things. Like people don't realize that a lot of people go through a lot of things, and sometimes it's just nice to hear somebody that you don't know to say, hey, I went through this, or I know how it feels to deal with X, Y, and Z, and you feel relatable to people. And I think that's what's missing, is that people just want to relate to people in an authentic way without feeling like, you know, that's going to be used against them. Because again, with your energy, maybe you guys have opened up to people about certain things and they have used that against you. And some of you guys are learning that, you know, you being open is not a crime. You know, it's okay to be open, but now you have more discernment on energies and who you're open with or who you're open to. Okay, but knowledge is very significant. You guys are going through some type of shift, okay, when it comes to like completions and also cycles. There is something about, like I said, travel and also religion that could be significant, and philosophy, because 9th house is significant. But there is something about that where, like I said, you guys could be learning, educating yourself, okay? Even angel number 7 is very significant when it comes to like your spirituality and wisdom. You guys have inner knowing, especially with the Hierophant coming out here. Okay, you guys have clarity and understanding. Yeah, so meditation brings answers. And it's funny how I said when it comes to meditation, literally in the beginning of the video, you don't have to sit down and, you know, do certain things. Going for a walk and clearing your mind, you know, without any music, no phone calls, no nothing. Like your phone could be on DND, sorry, where it's on do not disturb, or there's something about you journaling or even sleeping. Anybody who has certain placements in their chart may not realize that even taking a nap is also part of meditation, because in the spiritual realm, your body's doing something, okay? It's moving. Even if your body is still, you are still moving in the spiritual realm. So sleeping is significant, walking is significant, maybe working out in the gym to release energy, okay? Things like that. Like people meditate in different ways, and you know, the reason why I say that, you know, you don't have to do things by the book is because I have an Aries moon, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'll be so honest that if I was to sit down and meditate and go after a few minutes, I'm going to be like, you know what? I need to get up and go do something. Because naturally my energy is not meant to stay still in that sense. The way for me to get some type of stillness in my energy is either me releasing my fire, okay? That could be walking, that could be, you know, jogging, that could be working out, that could be anything. Because you guys have to realize that your moon sign and also your placements, they play a big role. So even though I may be a Cancer sun, that doesn't necessarily mean that I just want to go swimming all the time just because I'm a water sign. You know what I mean, guys? Like, I have other placements in my chart that I also have to attend to. So that is significant too, right? It's almost like if you have Gemini placements in your moon, most likely you're going to want to do things that are analytical, and then that may not be the only thing. So yeah, take what resonates with that, okay? Yeah, and trust, okay? So yeah, something about you being able to meditate, trust the path that you're on. Like I said, trusting your inner knowing when it comes to like how you may meditate or how you go within yourself or find introspection. At the bottom, we have communicating clearly. Okay, so yeah, take what resonates with. And it's funny how I said water and dolphins are showing up here, right? And remaining positive. Yeah, roses and flowers are significant, guys. But I'm going to end it here. All right. Take what resonates. Thank you guys for the love, the support that you guys have been giving and sharing. And I see you guys reposting. You know, I appreciate you guys and I love you guys for that. And again, continue doing what it is that you guys are doing. Like I've been saying the last few days, like, listen, I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of the collective. I'm proud of the energy, because even though every day may not be a really good day, or there's some highs, there's some lows, you guys are still finding ways to remain positive or to stay in this positive light and energy. And I know it can be hard, especially if you're dealing with anxiety or depression or anything like that. And you guys know that I'm not a doctor. Okay, I do this because I enjoy doing this, and I like to share information with you guys and knowledge and wisdom and all that good stuff. And I know I'm not the only person. There's other people out there, but you guys know that I don't joke about mental stability and things like that, because if you are going through those things and you need to seek attention or medical assistance, definitely go do that. You know what I mean? Definitely get somebody who is a professional, who is licensed. But at the same time, if you feel comfortable in doing that in your own path, then do that too. You know what I mean? Like, supposedly we're supposed to be here to help people and help people that need it, okay, the most, not people who will use and abuse, you know, that type of energy, right? So yeah, I love you guys. Happy Friday, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.